Hello Aquarius, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Aquarius is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. And if there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. All right. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Aquarius, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And here is the Princess of Wands. There is a certain fire, a certain sense of spontaneity in you right now. This is very interesting. Let's put this into some context, okay? Let's see what else is going on. There's the Hanged Man. Interesting. Quite a big contrast here, right? A little more fire. Empress energy. Another princess here. 4 of Cups. 8 of Wands. Oh, there is the Star. Somehow, I knew that your power card would show up, and here it is in the environment. This is almost like, it's almost like it's being projected outside of yourself, right? Let's see what else we've got here. And the Sun. I kind of feel as if there is, that there's a part of us that we, almost a part of you that you feel you've lost, maybe? Let's see how this develops. Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is one random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. We'll set it down right here. We'll put Alien Simon Mork Ripley right there on top. And now we're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together, and it will give us the confirmation that we need. All right? And if at any point during the reading you feel like you know what that card is, I want you to put your prediction in the comments. All right? Let's do it together. Let's make it a group exercise in intuition. All right? I hope you'll play along with me. All right. Let's look at these energies again. We've got major, 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 major. Excuse my voice today. I'm still kind of dealing with this chest cold. We've got fire energy here. We've got some water energy here. We've got some air energy here. What we don't have is any real earth energy. We've got a little bit here, you know, with the Empress. We could think of that as kind of the earth itself. We have some earth energy with the princesses, right? Because they represent the earthy aspect of the fire and the earthy aspect of the air, respectively. So this is really us trying to put some of these energies into practice, right? Kind of our passion and our ambition, our spontaneity in the world of action, in our behavior, right? And also with the Princess of Swords, I feel like there's an effort to be a little bit less rigid, perhaps, in our thinking, a little bit more open to new ways of doing things, right? Being open to this spontaneity. There's a real sense of power here. So there's something that is fueling these princesses, okay? Because I feel like these two are really where it's at. It's almost like there's a revitalization. I almost feel like with these two, and we might just have to look at them together. Because I feel like there's a revitalization, there's a renewal, there's almost a return to that kind of almost childlike energy and enthusiasm and curiosity and wonder, right? It's something that I would kind of think would show up as the Fool here somewhere, you know? But maybe there's a little bit more direction in these two than in the Fool card. Because I feel like these are looking for new ways to express this childlike wonder and openness and ambition and spontaneity in the realm of behavior, right? So it could be that you're looking for new ways to express yourself, right? New creative outlets, new ways to pursue knowledge, new knowledge to pursue. You're looking to express yourself in new ways. A lot of power here, a lot of power. And I think that that is a contrast to this Hanged Man card. I think that perhaps you have been so intensely devoted to something, to your destiny, to your path, to your work, to your relationship, to your career, to your education, to whatever, right? So devoted to these very serious things, very serious, right? That maybe you've lost touch with yourself a little bit. Okay. We've been doing a lot of bonus readings for Aquarius because I feel like you're really in the middle of a huge energy realignment. And maybe this is part of it. Maybe our past readings, the last week or two, have been so serious, so focused on this work, this destiny, this purpose, this divine mission that we've been calling it. That maybe you've been asked to sacrifice a great deal of yourself. And maybe it's time that you reconnect with that self, that you find that self again, right? So we're not taking a break from the divine mission, but we're trying to find ways to express ourselves, to pursue our interests, to be creative, to be spontaneous, to be open to new things, in an effort to rediscover ourselves, to find ourselves again. You know, kind of like contacting that inner child, you know, connecting with the inner child, which may have a little bit to do with this sun energy. You see the little children there. So there is that idea of just kind of returning to a simpler state. That yes, there is this divine mission, this huge transformation that you're undergoing, this very serious life path. But looking at it too narrowly, we might be sacrificing too much of ourselves, right? Perhaps we need to be open to take ourselves less seriously, to take our work a little bit less seriously. Not trying to say that that it's not serious, but let's be aware of the sacrifices that we're making and the appropriateness of those sacrifices. Right? We're not, I don't think we're meant to sacrifice ourselves necessarily, right? So let's take a look around. Let's continue our analysis here. We've got this Empress energy in the back. This is the motivation almost for the entire thing, right? And in some ways, I feel like this is this is the earth that we are looking to create. We're trying to perhaps create a better world, right? Maybe for everyone, maybe globally, right? But for you, for your family, for your loved ones, right? We're trying to establish more harmony, more love, more abundance. See, we've got, with the major arcana, we have Empress, Star, and then, well, basically another star, right? Sorry, Bob. With the sun, right? Because this is, these two together, the star and the sun, it's as if this work is meant to bring you closer to yourself. Because this is you. This is all of you, right? This is your power card. This is your destiny. This is your star, your starlight. This is your divine mission. It's meant to lead you closer to yourself, not further away. We're not being asked, you're not being asked to sacrifice yourself for the sake of this better world. This better world needs you in it. The main work here, I think, is to bring you closer to you. I think that we need to reorient ourselves to that. And I think that's why there's these impulses here with the princesses, because the princesses can kind of get a little carried away, right? They're like children running around. They just like what they like. They want to do what they want to do. So I wonder if there's been moments in your life recently where you've just wanted to do something frivolous or even reckless or just nonsensical, right? Just to do something new. And to me, that's this kind of, this inner child that's kind of acting out, right? Because it wants attention. And I think that's important that we listen to that. I think it's important that we give ourselves the opportunity, the chance to express all of that. Right? And that's why the princesses are part of the earth energy, right? We have new ideas, new desires, new thoughts, novel thoughts. Allow yourself to experiment, in your mind, and as well as in your creativity, as well as in the world, in your life, in the realm of action. Allow yourself to experiment, allow yourself to dream, allow yourself to create just for creation's sake, right? All of this divine mission stuff, this serious destiny, I think in some ways it's been detracting from just the experience of living, the playfulness of life, the wonder of life, the curiosity. This is kind of a card that says, I can't focus on any of that stuff. I have to keep my nose in the book, right? There's so many other things to learn about. There's so many other people to talk to and places to go and things to think about, right? It's having the kind of mental freedom, the intellectual freedom here that I think is important for you. This is saying that, if you're studying, you're studying some sort of science in school, right? This is thinking, I can only read this science book. That's it. That's all I can do 24 hours a day. Well, this is the card that loves so many different things. Art, right? Literature. Branch out, Don't stay confined to what you feel is very directly related to this work, this plan, this divine mission, this destiny that you're on. You have to allow some intellectual wandering to take place, right? And I think that's very good for your spirit, your vitality. I think that's really like, it's going to renew your interest. It's going to renew your enthusiasm for not only for this path and this destiny and mission that you're on, but for life as a whole. Okay. Allow yourself to do things just for their own sake. They don't have to be always directly related to the goal, the path, right? And we see that with the Seven of Swords over here, which we'll get to. But you do have a mission. You do have very important work that you're doing, and it does require a lot from you. It is, spirit or the universe is asking a lot from you. Asking for a lot of sacrifices, and you've been making those sacrifices. But it's time for you to, take a little bit back, to find yourself again, to allow yourself to, you need a day off, right, is basically the message here. But it's a way to get in touch with ourselves again, to then feel like this is a more holistic path that you're on. If it's all sacrifice all the time, it becomes very narrow, right? It becomes very strict. And that is the Seven of Swords, which is in the position of what we don't want. The Seven of Swords is an energy that's trying to stay on track and is distracted by all these other things. Thoughts, feelings, desires, right? And usually with the Seven of Swords, we say, hey, stay on the straight and narrow. Stay focused. We're trying to realize our destiny. This is our star way out in the distance. If we stay on the straight and narrow, then we can get to our star, right? This is the star far away. We make progress and we get up close and personal with it. Usually that's how we interpret this. But now it's almost saying the way that you get to your star, the way you get to the fulfillment of this destiny is by getting closer to yourself, and that is by allowing these distractions in. It's okay to explore these side quests. It's okay to get, it's okay to kind of get blown about by the wind a little bit. You know, allow yourself to get distracted into other things for a while. That's okay. You know, when you stick to that straight and narrow path for too long, you may start to resent it. All of the things that you've been having to give up and sacrifice and say no to, all of the distractions that you want to indulge in, but you've been saying no to, eventually you'll start to resent the path. So it's okay to turn away from your work and do some other stuff. You know, you'll always come back to this path, to this mission. Right? To your aspiration, to your will, your destiny and purpose. Okay. Because the Empress back here is reminding us that life has to be whole, right? It has to be healthy and wholesome. It has to be inclusive. We can't deny certain aspects of ourselves thinking that we have to martyr ourselves or sacrifice ourselves for the sake of whatever this work is that we're doing. You know, it's like someone who is so devoted to their job, their company, their career, that they're neglecting their family life, they're neglecting their other interests and desires, neglecting their health. They're sacrificing all of these things for this one path that they're on. But they don't realize that everything needs to come together, right? That we have to bring everything along on our path. It has to be a wholesome endeavor. And that's what the Empress is reminding us of. Okay? We're doing a disservice to ourselves and to spirit and to the path if we are sacrificing too much of ourselves. Sacrifice is good, you know, as we have to prioritize. But ultimately, we want every aspect of our life to grow up together. Okay? So we've got a 5 of Wands underneath the surface. This is the fire within you, right? And we've got to be careful lighting this fire, because the Princess of Wands has a tendency to be reckless. If we sacrifice too much, eventually our fire energy, our inner child, will rebel. Right? There will be a rebound effect, and it will disrupt our lives. We might end up getting a tower. Okay? So we have to allow periods of distraction, of release, of other interests, pursue other things so that you don't start resenting the path, and so that this fire energy doesn't just build, and then result in a tower moment, right? Where everything is just kind of destroyed and ruined and it comes crumbling down. So the 5 of Wands is about that. It's a pressure release valve, right? And we're able to kind of to regulate that. And this is kind of this is a card about fighting, you know. This is a card that tells you need to know when to fight and when not to fight, when to yield and when to strive, when to focus and when to defocus, right? Unfocus. When to concentrate and when to really unwind. You know, we need to have the regulation, the discipline to do this. Okay. It's almost, in some ways, it's easier to just stay committed to a path and deny everything else. Because if you allow yourself too many options, well, what if you get distracted and then, everything kind of goes awry? It takes a lot more self-control to allow yourself more room, It takes a lot more discipline to allow yourself fulfillment of other desires, of other aspects of your life, and still kind of stay moving in the same direction, It seems like it's much easier to just keep the blinders on and just stay on that straight and narrow. Because if you deviate a little bit, well, then you're just lost, right? No, you've got the kind of power that it takes to stay on the path, but just make your path a little bit wider. Allow yourself to take some scenic detours around, but you're still on the path. You're still going in the same direction, The Four of Cups in the future position. This is a little bit of the contentment that we want, right? This is a little bit of sacrifice, but not too much. This is a little bit of this kind of freedom and recklessness, but not too much, right? This is a ship that's very steadily moving forward, but feels good, feels content with it. We don't need to go to either extreme. We go to the extreme of fire, the extreme of water, and that's disruptive. We need to have this kind of balance. So I think the Four of Cups here is very good because it's not extreme. It's not that the boat is either sinking or the boat is headed into a crazy storm. It's steadily along. It's fulfilling its needs as it goes. It is open to any kind of course corrections. It's open to addressing needs and desires as they arise, and kind of having the discipline to decide whether or not this is a desire that can wait, or if I need a break and I've got to go, just kind of sit on the couch and watch Netflix for the weekend or something, Now, we're going to move to the path of the serpent, and as I do this, I'd like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It doesn't cost you anything. Hit the like button. Leave me a comment. All right, I'd love to hear from you. Thank you. Okay, so the Eight of Wands here in this position, this is, for one thing, this is some anxiety. This is a growing anxiety that the Princess of Wands will eventually have to release. Okay, and if we're constantly sacrificing all of our desires, all of our will, all of our anything else other than our kind of main straight and narrow, then I think we're kind of we are fostering this inner turmoil. Now, this is an anxiety that results from not allowing yourself to move in any direction, not allowing yourself to deviate from this Seven of Swords, from that straight and narrow in any way. So this is kind of an overbearing self-discipline. You want to have discipline. You can be strict with yourself. You can be self-sacrificing and delay gratification and be very focused on your goals. But there's an extreme there, and that extreme causes this energy to build up like a battery, right? And eventually it's going to have to be discharged somewhere. The Princess of Wands warns us that eventually the battery's just going to blow, okay? And then we'll have that tower moment. So we have to be able to regulate that. We have to allow ourselves a little bit of freedom of movement somewhere, right? And of course, we've got the next card, the Star card, your power card. This is the card that rules the sign of Aquarius. It's time for you to rediscover yourself, rediscover your path in the sense of, why are you doing this? Let's reconnect with what we are trying to do and why. And then we'll see that our overbearing self-discipline is not really vibing with our original plan anyway. It doesn't really, it's not compatible with our goal, with our path, with our destiny, and our reasons for doing this. We're trying to create life and abundance and freedom and beauty and success for ourselves, for our loved ones, for the world. Whatever it is that you're doing specifically, I don't know. But it has this kind of all-inclusive feeling to it. But with all of this self-discipline, all of this just kind of intense focus, it seems kind of opposite to this, you know. It seems too restrictive, where this is expansive, this is about growth. And all the sacrifice is limiting your growth, you know. So we talked about the Seven of Swords, and this is what we don't want, right? Part of you doesn't want the distractions, but really what we don't want is such narrow focus that any little deviation from the path is threatening to throw us completely off. It's like you have such discipline that any little deviation from that itinerary, you just go crazy. It's just the worst thing in the world, right? It completely upsets the system because the system is too rigid. If it's flexible, then other distractions, other responsibilities that come your way, you can handle them effortlessly. They don't upset the flow. But if we're so rigid, you know, I have my breakfast at 9 a.m., not a second later. Well, what if it comes early? What if, you know, you wake up a little earlier? What if you get a telephone call right at 9 a.m.? It upsets your exact timetable, and we don't know how to react, right? Or we react in a kind of exaggerated way because we're too rigid, right? We're too strict with things. We need to be a little bit more easygoing. And the next card, of course, is that Sun card. This is bringing you closer to yourself, your whole self, right? Your personality, with your desires, with your faults, with your, with all of you, right? Every aspect of yourself. This is a radical self-acceptance here, because that's what makes you you. That's what makes you unique. This spiritual light is shining through you and your personality and your life, your likes, your dislikes, right? And this is what the work is meant to do, is to bring you closer to yourself, to allow you to be the conduit for that spiritual light. You are the prism through which that light shines. So this isn't about self-denial. You know, you need to be focused, you need to have discipline, but it has to be done with love, right? And I think the Empress, it's really important that Empress is here. Let's look at the mystery card, though. Let's see what this is going to... I hope it's not a tower. I don't know what I'm expecting. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments section. Maybe some more fire energy. Maybe it'll be the World card, because that would kind of show, or maybe another Empress, because I think that would show us the kind of the wholeness, the wholesomeness of this, right? Where it has to be, we have to be complete. We have to be whole people. We can't deny any aspect of ourselves. We have to accept who we are and what we are. We got to have discipline and focus, yeah, but we need to accept every aspect of ourselves. I'm thinking World card. Now it's the Star. Look at that. It's your power card again. So it's almost like we're on this search to find ourselves, and that's exactly what you're going to find, right? And it's not that we're expecting something different. It's not that we're trying to find something unknown to us. We're just trying to rediscover who we are. We're just trying to meet ourselves again. You know, maybe this is big self, little self, right? Personality and higher self, true self. But there's this idea of bringing in everything that we've been sacrificing or denying about ourselves. Now we kind of bring it back in. Right? And I think that's the goal of spiritual work generally, is to integrate every aspect of ourselves, purify it, discipline it, strengthen it, and then achieve unity. Very nice, very interesting. I'm glad we did this bonus reading for you. We're going to do an extended reading too. If you want to stick around, click on the link up there in the corner. That'll give you access to all of the extended readings, not just for Aquarius, but for every sign. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you, and I love you. And we're all in this together.